I told you we'll come back to the realms of chaos. Slaves of darkness, but nevertheless, same book. Let's begin with this one. Dark and dangerous is the world, a place seething with conflict. The great races battle amongst themselves, elf and dwarf, dwarf and goblin, goblin and orc, orc and elf. Man, the newest of the races and the most warlike, exceeds all others in the savagery and length of his conflicts. While no outside enemy exists, man finds enemies within his own kind. Empires and kingdoms rise and fall, each on a bloody tide of battle and destruction. Ancient hatreds are cherished and rehearsed, polished to a fine pitch of enmity, and brought out, as if proof were needed, to show that war is the only course available to a true man. Old scores are settled, and new causes given credence. An endless circle of war and preparation, called peace. The older races are drawn into man's wars as hirelings or allies in search of advantage or simple loot. Much is laid waste, and little is rebuilt. Fire and sword leave the black scars across the lands of the world and in the hearts of men. At the borders of the world lies a greater danger than any posed by mortal enemies, the products of another world, another universe, released upon this world by misfortune and accident in the long dead past. The creatures of chaos pour in endless torrents through a rent in the void. They gibber along the edges of the world, held back from engulfing everything, only at a bitter cost. Here are the chaos wastes. Here is the natural corrupted to become unnatural. Here the very earth rebels against what it has become. Trees moan in eldritch voices, and the rocks scream their hate at an uncaring sky. Here, chaos gods and demons stalk the earth, destroying and preventing all in their reach. Yet, this is not enough. Where once the goblins and their kin worshipped the foul gods of chaos, now man does the same. The goblins' worship has disorganized, and their devotion less than total. In full sight of all that chaos can be and all that it can offer, there are those who turn their backs on sanity. Man brings all his vigor and fanaticism to the service of the lords of chaos. That service brings power, and the fanatical followers of chaos find their reward. And chaos extracts its toll. As minds twisted and warp, so do bodies. Those who follow chaos are left no vestige of humanity and become unrecognizable in the service of their dark powers. Traces of humanity and decency are ruthlessly expunged from all followers of chaos. Sanity is always the first casualty. Many sink into an abyss of despair, mindlessly running and gibbering with the warped and unnameable beasts of the chaos pack. Their fate is a minor mercy, for with mindlessness comes oblivion. Some arise as dreaded and terrible chaos lords, the leaders of the chaos beastmen, the slaughter and rampage across the wastes and beyond. A few are so extreme that they attract the attentions, welcome or otherwise, of the chaos powers. These few are elevated and utterly changed into the demons of chaos. But chaos only gnaws from within, striking at the heart of man. Throughout human lands protected by position and title, wealth and connections, the hidden servants of chaos grow in strength and numbers. Their malign influence is felt everywhere at the heart of all scheming and plotting, as they spread the dark works of their malicious and evil gods. They labor at the core of humanity, depraving and corrupting all they touch. They work towards the day when the world will be on its knees before their foul and pestilent gods. Only then will the servants of chaos find their true reward. Only when the world is wholly a realm of chaos. That's a very good description in my opinion, and it's amazing. It's gruesome, it's brutal, it's telling, it's hardcore, it's metal. And it really harkens to, I think, what really attracted me to Warhammer in the first place. I would really recommend, if you get the possibility, because I don't think I'll be able to go through all the book, but if you get the possibility, to get your hands on the Slaves of Darkness, or whatever, Slave to Darkness, and the rest of the books I do in this channel, I recommend you look through them. This one is amazing in both its art style and the way it words things. And of course, the little connection between Warhammer Fantasy and 40k, which we now know that Games Workshop doesn't really want to keep that anymore because Age of Sigmar exists. And because of that, well, you can see, it doesn't really make much sense. Nevertheless, I hope you enjoy this, and I'll see you in the next one.